me get, why does it look different? It's been a little while since I've been done a YouTube live. So it looks a little different on my end. That's not that's not a shocker. Just bear with me. Hi. So much, so much to talk about. So much to read into. And if it's whatever's meant to come through will come through. I feel like we're going to expand. We're not going to zoom into all of the many things that are going on right now, which is a lot. A lot is happening on the and we have to zoom out and expand to read into this energy. So, welcome. I hope that you are doing well and staying grounded, staying comfortable, staying in your heart, and able to not get caught up in we'll call them distractions. They're not necessarily distractions, but there's many tactics that are being used to pull our attention and focus and energy into the directions of fear mainly. I believe that I titled this live The Feeding Frenzy, and I will explain why. I don't know why. Okay. I'll explain why, but I do want to just start off very slowly. Wait for people to come into the chat. Hello, Old West. Happy that you're here. Welcome. Good to see you. Hi, Martin. Am I here? Hi. I'm so happy to see you here too. This is going to be a great gathering. Coming off of an amazing gathering that I was at last night. Happy Friday, yes. Um, I was blessed with tickets to go to a drumming event last night outside of the city of Philadelphia. It was hosted by Jim Donovan, who is a band member and drummer of Rusted Root. For any of you who know the band, I know they had a few famous songs back in the day. If you know the movie Lion King, it's one of the theme songs to that movie. Um, Send me on my way. But anyway, the purpose of this drumming event was there were at least, you recall them? Yeah. One of my favorite bands for a very long time. And I have been able to see them play in many different venues. But this drumming gathering was for a few purposes. It was for connection. It was to also assist some people in understanding somatics, how to regulate our nervous system. We did, he would show us certain rhythms. Everybody had a drum, and we would then repeat the rhythms, and we would do them faster and faster and louder until we were all synchronized. Everybody in the room. And this was a giant, like a large, high roof. The acoustics were incredible. The vibration was incredible. And it's just an amazing experience. We then did vocals, and towards the end, there was a mantra that we did with drumming, and it was sending out the vibration of love, of harmony, of peace throughout the world. And it was an incredible experience. Words cannot describe. It was very tribal. It was very, I felt connected to everybody in the room, and just an amazing experience. Activating, very activating. And when I say activating, it just lit me up to the point where I was really able to, um, I've been having these experiences off and on. My vision changes. I'm able to see through things with great clarity. And in this Pisces energy, that's a gift, for sure. Um, we still have a lot of Pisces energy we're working through. So the fog machine is still kind of on for a lot of us. Mercury's in retrograde in Pisces, and that will be going direct on the 20th, I think, on the spring equinox. But aside from um, the astrology, which has been directing as I've been following it, the themes of the evolution of humanity and the opening of our third eye activity, the opening and the disclosure of truth that many were not able to see, and those who were able to see and were trying to show others were called crazy conspiracy theorists. And that was a journey of its own. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure. We'll get into that because really what we want to do in this energy, understanding many of you who may understand your energetic powers, because those that are um, in the elite, those who have been in supposed power, control, mind control of the masses, are fully aware of how energy works. And it worked until it didn't, because many of us saw through and broke through that veil, and many, many more are doing so right now. What I do want to say with that is there is a great awakening happening for a whole nother wave of humans. Those of us who are already able to have been seeing, have been experiencing, we've gone through our healing. Honestly, especially over the last 6, 7, 8, 10, 12 years, maybe even longer, but very specifically, I think this peak or this push started in 2012, and then the ball got rolling for many of us to really go within, do our shadow work, understand what the shadow is, our inner child, our family patterns, all of the healing to see um, where our attachments are, what energies we're attaching to us, and maybe you're there now. Maybe you're not even aware that there are entities and energetic attachments siphoning from you or controlling your mind. But there are many of us that are able to see that very clearly and read into that very clearly. So, and I'm sorry, I have a lot to say, so keeping an eye on the chat is really difficult. I will go back through the chat to make sure that we don't have any infiltrators in here because I don't see my moderators on here yet, but that's okay. I trust that everything that unfolds is as it should be. And we really should begin to trust that more, trust the unfoldment, and make sure, where are you? This area here, the heart, this is our power center. If you can't connect to your heart, if you can't connect to your own power, then you are under manipulation and control. Okay, let me see here. I don't know why you are laughing, because I don't see anything funny that we're talking about here right now, but I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt for the moment. Okay, so, because this is serious stuff. Deep breath. Deep breath. What I'm about to share, and I'm reluctant to share everything because some of it almost sounds like a Marvel movie. But coming from someone who I see and witness and entities, and I have a lot of people in my life that do as well. And we collectively gathered last week and shared our experiences, and a lot of them were very similar. So, hello, spiritual awakening, Scorpio. um, I do want to share a few of those things with you guys as well. But getting back to the heart, we must stay in our heart. It's going to be difficult because this is the year that everything, I mean, gets extremely stirred up. There's no going back from here. I don't see nations. I don't see color. I don't see the division like a lot of people want to do. But I do see entities. I do see reptilians. I do see the grays. I do see those that are in human suits that are not human, and many of them are linked to the elites that are controlling the narrative, controlling the media, controlling a lot of the governments, controlling the wars, controlling the, um, shall I say, the pedophiles, the just the horrific things that are being exposed. And so this is extremely shocking for many people who have been not aware. And it's going to take some time, but that shock wave is really hitting through. Hi, Dustin. That shock wave is coming through very okay. Bear with me, guys. Sorry. I have no fear. Um, Anybody that is under the control of these manipulative entities, you have no control over me or my channel. So good luck. Good luck trying. And this is how we should all actually be. Don't be reactive, but respond. We all must stand up and respond to life, but definitely don't give them what they want. Don't give them your fear, your anger, your doubt, your insecurities, your worry. There's a feeding frenzy that's going on right now, and it is full force. These entities feed off of our energy. They feed off of our emotional, energetic body. It can come in the form of thought waves. It can come in the form of psychic attacks. It can come in the form of getting a notice in the mail from the government or some official. However it comes through, do not react. If you do, call your energy back to you, because they're this feeding frenzy, they are hungry because they're caught. They're caught by the light. They know the light is winning. It doesn't look like that right now. And so going back to getting back into our heart, tapping into the heart, staying in the heart, staying strong, standing strong, because we came here for this. I've been receiving the message for weeks now, over and over again. You've been training for this your entire life. You're ready. So, being humbled many times through the journey, now is the time to come back out with what is true, what is just, what is the truth that I know that I need to speak without being reactive, without being putting out, placing the finger, getting pulled and sucked into somebody else's black hole. And these entities most likely are attaching to loved ones, friends, people we know. Be patient, because the human heart, the human soul, the incarnated is stronger than that. And it's going to have to play out this year for many. We must remember where we came from on the journey. We too had gone through the layers and phases of the spiritual awakening, the dark night of the soul, the ego getting shaken. You have to see yourself. So, and I've seen many, um, the many faces of the many, which we do have many parts. So there are a lot of people that are going to go through this process. And what I'm picking up is that it is going to be a lot faster. It's going to be a quickening for this next wave than it had been for many of us. I speak to the us as those who are resonating with what I'm saying right now. There may be many of you who are here because you were pulled to this channel or to this live stream, um, because there's some resonance, but you're not quite at the point of um, seeing or reconciling with the truth. It's been hidden in plain sight all along. The movies depict it. Everything is always has to, part of the game is it has to be displayed in plain sight, even though it's covered up by an illusion. See, we're still Saturn and Neptune working together in Pisces. This is complete disillusionment coming to the forefront. Depending on where you are in the journey, you could still be in the illusion, but some parts are becoming clearer. Again, with Mercury still in retrograde, maybe not. But disillusionment is difficult to get through, but it is part of the rite of passage. When I say disillusionment, that is everything that you believe to be true, everything that you believe to be reality is suddenly not. That's disillusionment. Martin, Earth School is experiences and lessons. It's all truth. Yep. Yep. So there's a feeding frenzy going on right now. A feeding frenzy on our energy. They're not getting their regular harvest, basically. So, and this comes in waves. A lot of us that hold a certain frequency may feel under attack. And truly, this is also going back inner reflection. How strong am I? How much do I believe in myself? How much do I actually trust in this journey? How much do I trust in my inner guidance and my intuition and the reason I incarnated here? We would have never incarnated here for this experience if we didn't know that there was a very big purpose for it and that we were ready for it. We were built for it. We are built for it. There have been uh, other entities that have played dirty and have gone against the rules, actually. And one of those things, and when I say rules, I mean there's not a whole lot of rules to Earth School, the game of life. Yet one of the rules, like I said, was that things must be revealed. It doesn't necessarily say it has to be revealed in a certain way, but it has to be revealed somehow. And we're starting to, I mean, the collective is starting to really put two and two together with a lot of that. They were called conspiracy theories back in the day. um, what else do we want to share here? Hold on. Picking up a lot. Whew. So there will be a test for each and every one of us, many testing phases that we're going through. How much do you believe in the journey of your soul? How much do you trust yourself? How much do you trust in the guidance? How much do you trust the universe? How much do you trust the spiritual realms? Um, that we are guided and protected. The soul is eternal, yes, but we also have a purpose here incarnated in these bodies, and things are getting heated up, and it's looking pretty bleak right now, but there's always there's always a shift, a big shift. And I feel like those who have really been watching over the whole game, the elders, are stepping in. So the entities that have been wreaking havoc on this planet and having their fun and controlling the entire narrative and the manipulation, yeah, magicians, manipulation tactics, and feeding, harvesting off of not just our energy, but flesh and blood and many other things. That's been revealed. It's going to take the collective quite some time to really have that sink in. Wow, more, because we've only been shown the tip of the iceberg. While more gets revealed, there's going to be more and more disillusionment. So, what I'm trying to say here is that those of us who've already been aware and see, stay in our heart. Hey there, Steph. Stay in the heart. Have compassion for those going through it. Understand that we, I mean, I had entities attached to me I didn't know about until I did, right? Um, I hate talking about them, but I want to give the information because they're just assholes, basically. They have no power over us unless we give it to them. Um, oh yeah. um, I'm gonna try to not look at the chat for a whole lot right now because I know that as I talk about this topic, it stirs up a lot of energy. It definitely stirs up a lot of energy, and I'm ready for it. Yeah, I know not everybody is ready for it. So we will bring it back down. But what I really want to say here is that for those of you who are like, what is going on? For those of you who for those of you who are a medium, a psychic, a seer, I do want to share this because I had a meeting with 8 other friends of mine who are actively working psychic mediums. And one of my really good friends has been a seer her whole life, like 60 some, 65 some years. And I know I shared this with the members, but I just want to share this with everybody. This is just an example because I put 2 and 2 together as it was being handed to me because I was having entities and psychic attacks. My grandson was having like we even tonight before I came on here, my cat was going after things. And no, we don't have mice here. um, they are very real, but they are also forms of energy. They're not actually in physical form. So they can't do anything unless you give them the power to do something. Um, so she woke up in the middle of the night. This was, I think it was like 2 weeks ago when there was a lot that was stirred up in my life and my loved one's life, as far as very wacky, weird, energetic things. And then I had 2 young girls back to back coming to me for sessions and their mothers because of these entities that were coming to them. The mother was terrified. And I actually described it and she looked at me like, oh my God. And it was exactly the same one that I saw when I was a child and was seeing it again. And I told this being, you don't scare me at all. You can't even show your face. And why do you make yourself look so big and scary? You don't scare me. You're nothing but a little ant. And I kid you not, it. disappeared, and on my kitchen counter, and it's the dead of winter, was an ant, dead. And I was like, whoo. But I had a lot of, we have this empowering energy within us. Many of us do. It's time to use it. So my friend, woke up in the middle of the night with a guy, not a guy, an entity attached to her. And she said, "Get off of me." And he said, "I can't." And she was like, "What do you mean you can't?" He's like, "I can." She got up, "Get off of me." And he said, "Turn on the projector." And she's like, "What?" He's like, "Turn on the projector." And she realized he was talking about turn on your TV. And so when she did, he was able to leave. And she's like, "What the hell was that?" Now, it didn't take, I wasn't getting a whole read on it because I was just like, yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff happening right now. It was a few days later, something came onto I don't know if it was YouTube. I think it was YouTube. I wish I would have saved it. I'm sure if I searched it up, I could find it again. But there are a few people behind the scenes. There's a whistleblower that worked at CERN who has come out to disclose what's going on at CERN. Do you guys remember CERN? Because I totally forgot about it. I didn't forget about it, but it wasn't in my focus at this time, what they are actually doing at CERN. And she said they have been able to open up because there are portals and there are gates. Some of these gates are locked. They were able to like create like a wormhole into another dimension, realm, and bring beings in. And these beings are dumb. They don't even know why they're here. It's very interesting and weird and wacky. There's a lot of experiments that are going on right now. And I just want to say I might even get flagged here on YouTube, and I don't care because whoever's here to hear this now, good for you. I mean, I think that this woman, she's definitely gone on a few podcasts and talked about it. Yeah, soul siphon. So there's that. There's also very specific underground places and portals that are linked to time and timelines that are being infiltrated with. And I'm not going to disclose the locations here on YouTube, but I did disclose some of the locations on my members. There's more. It's coming to me in dribs and drabs. But timelines keep getting messed with. And yes, timelines shift, but it's not even giving the humans a chance to make choices, wise choices. So this is where the elders come in. This is where the elders are stepping in and saying, all right, enough is enough. There's something that the pendulum is about to swing. I don't know the timing. I'm not given timing because right now time is really messed up as far as our perception of time. Forget the man-made clock and the Gregorian calendar. Where I live, we can't even see the sun. I don't like it has been snowing, raining, cloudy, chemtrails. Like for those of us who can track time by the sun, you can't even see it. I do know it serves its purpose too. Yeah, the linear time. Mm-mm. But the there's been an infiltration that goes against and does not allow for, let's just say, I'm hearing fair play with free will. Um, okay, we're gonna just clear the energy now. We're gonna clear the energy now on the live. We're gonna dive into some cards and some channeling there. But definitely, even if you see someone, a loved one, like people are glitching out, Their eyes get all blinky, or they like, for those of you who do energy work, you may be seeing some of these glitching out in the human body. The electrical system is glitching out. I'm not going to go into too much detail on that either, because it does infiltrate uh, personal privacy, I suppose. But you can see it in the eyes. If there's an entity attachment and the entity has taken over, the eyes change. They get dark. Sometimes the voice changes. Sometimes it gets so intense that the accent changes, the way a person speaks. So much to the point where you're like, are you okay? Who are you? You can tell. You can tell. So don't panic when you see this, but understand that these entities are trying to feed and harvest off of everyone right now. So really stay grounded, stay connected, stay away from alcohol and other substances. Stay in your heart, because truly, the power of the heart, the power of love, that sacred standing up no more. You can have love, but I stand up to these entities. You get out. You do not touch my grandson. You are not allowed in here. I have a cat. Oh, and she's busy. She's busy. So any of you who think this is hoopla, you can check off of this live stream right now because this is serious business. Truly. I know what I'm talking about. This is not my first rodeo. And usually you guys see me, I'm like happy go lucky, hee hee hee. And I'll bring that back, but we're in some serious times right now. And it's time to really get serious about the journey here. What choices is humanity being asked to choose? We have Venus that just moved into Aries. That is about love and values, what you love, what you value, what is important. Well, we're seeing people being terrorized, tortured, murdered, children in Iran, even just the other day. The American people, if I can speak on that for a moment, we have no choice. We don't want war. This wasn't not even passed through Congress. There will be a time that we must stand up. If you find that there is an energy that is coming for you, that is trying to invoke fear, trying to have you be the small self, passive, just going along, check in with yourself. Aries energy is fire. And the Venus, the goddess, she's got some fire right now. You put Saturn and Neptune together, the illusion, what we bought into as a collective, wherever you are in the world, whatever religion, whatever belief systems, disillusionment. Our boundaries with our energy, our boundaries with what we will stand for. And of course, then we have Mercury retrograde in Pisces. So there's that. Really wacky energy, but serves a purpose as well. And I do see that when you are exposed whether you're on social media or not, whether it's in conversation with others, when something is exposed to you, does it resonate? And even if it doesn't, will you just believe it and buy into it? Or are you going to sit with it and ask your higher self, thank you, Dustin, ask your guidance, your inner guidance, does this feel right? I'll tell you, there were a lot of things I didn't want to believe for a long time. A long time. But something inside of me knew it to be true. I had this conversation with a friend of mine too, and she's a psychotherapist. She's also psychic and now doing shamanic practices, but she's still also a psychotherapist. And she was she had a patient come to her expressing a lot of the things that we now see to be true. Many of us see to be true, but she wrote it off. There was something inside of her that knew he was telling the truth, but her mind and the programmed mind, especially through her education and whatnot, said schizophrenic. This guy's schizophrenic, right? She's like, I had a rude awakening about 2 years later after that. And I know, my own personal primary doctor retired, and she's young. A lot of people in the medical industry are like checking out from that. We're going to see a lot of step downs. We're going to see a lot of dismantling of the old system happen pretty quickly. And it needs to. It needed to. It was written and created by these forces that were trying to control and infiltrate us in every way. The mind, education, the body, medicine. It's still going on, but it's getting dismantled. The soul, the spirit, religion, our freedom, our free will. Here in America, it's supposed to be the land of the free, freedom of speech. We have the Constitution, all these things. Suddenly, a lot of colleges, you're not allowed to have protests. You're not allowed to speak your truth. You're not allowed to stand up for some social media. You can get flagged and banned and shut off for talking about exactly what I'm talking about. And you guys know I kind of like skirt in between to stay within the rules, which is kind of how you have to play. It's not that great, but for those of you who can pick up what I'm putting down, that's how you got to play the game right now. Doesn't mean it's right, but here's where we got to get smarter than what we're working with, too. Know how to work around the manipulation and not get sucked into it, not get pulled into it. Okay. Whew. I got hot. Yeah, everything's about money. The medical field is about money. Yes, Scott, everything is about money. And that's where Venus and Aries comes into what is actually important here. What are our values? Where's the love? The love of the human experience, the human soul, human to human. Because we're seeing a lot of humans go through a lot of stuff, and we did too. Maybe you still are. We have to have compassion. There's a lot of fire in this Venus energy. Get yourself right with the Lord, and everything will be okay forever. Many of us have gone through the phases and maybe still are. I know that it's never over, the journey of the healing and the clearing of the old, of the remembering who you are as a soul, remembering love. Yes, with the right Lord. Thank you, Martin. You're reading my mind. Because again, there's a lot of infiltration in the belief system about Lord, God, Jesus, Yeshua. There's so many stories in history, his story. Where's the female? Where's the feminine story? Not too many of those out there. Wonder why. The feminine is very connected to the earth, to the heart, to the womb. And I'm not going to get on my high horse about it because I do have a lot of masculine energy that runs through it. We have both. But it's interesting. And what is being uncovered that has been covered up throughout history, his story, is going to be mind blowing. There are pyramids that are being discovered. What are these pyramids used for? What is in Antarctica? What is underground? Oh, there's so much. There's so much. And to realize and recognize that many of the beings, the people in power, the elites are not even human. They don't have the same makeup. They don't have the heart and soul. That's why they have to feed. They need our energy. And that energy resides in the lower vibrational scale, fear being the main one, but also comparison, doubt, anger, rage. Um, I mean, there's nothing wrong with being angry, but where's the anger? What are you going to do with the anger? Are you going to use it for a sacred purpose, something from the heart to stand up for love? Or are you wanting to inflict pain on somebody else? Um, where are we going with that? Yeah, so everything is getting unraveled really quickly. And there's just been a lot of energy. This eclipse really opened up a lot. I will tell you that. For me anyway. And the back of my crown is really, really throbbing. Yes, Mary Magdalene. Yeah, I mean we have a few. How often do you really hear that in the biblical sense? Now there's a war going on. Well, there's always a war going on in the name of biblical senses. But it's a story made up, not made up, but twisted to run a narrative. Why do they want this land? There's something very valuable in the land. There are ley lines, there are energetic lines, there are portals. I don't know how far do we go with this, guys? um, there's a lot. There's a lot I could cover and talk about in this live, and I feel like I need to do that um, in more depth later on, maybe in the members, but and we can discuss that. Let's stay on topic. The important thing here is that there is a feeding frenzy going on right now, and if you're feeding these energies with the lower vibrational emotions and energy, you're giving them what they want. You're giving them exactly what they want. Don't do it. Stay in your heart, connect to the earth, uh, connect to nature. And these energies, they know us very well, these entities, very well. They know what's going to get a reaction out of us. I'll give you an example. For me, I mean, it's been a little difficult. There's a lot that's gone on, but I'm not reacting. I'm only responding. Even today, got a notice, for those of you who've been with me for a while, got a notice from the electric company that they will be going around our area again from this February till next February, cutting the trees off the lines. Um, and they're already on the road I live on. I live in the woods along a stream. They've cut a lot of trees down because they want to build a retaining wall. Basically, my anger that comes out. If you remember last spring with the wood chippers and the chainsaws and them cutting the trees, and I was just like beside myself. I had a blip of a moment, and we are human, the other day because I saw them cutting my favorite tree. down the road, and it's not even in the road at all. Like, things don't make sense. I felt like I was being, um, like they were really trying to press buttons, and I'm like, I'm not going to give you what you want. There's nothing I can do about it anyway, but I'm not going to give you what you want. But you really suck that you're doing this, because I'm very connected to nature, very connected to nature. So when I see its destruction, and when I see that it is senselessly being messed with, I have a hard time holding back. However, this year, I choose not to have that reaction. I'm still not happy about it, but I'm not going to give it what it wants. Not going to get that from me. I'm going to try my best. Anyway, that's all we can do, right? All right, what do we want to talk about here? Let's get a couple cards. uh, So that's just an example. It just seems like we're under some kind of crazy attack for our energy. It could be just as simple as just triggers. Triggers are a good example of an entity that wants your energy. Wants your energy. It wants that lower vibrational energy. And this is not all about like, let's just stay high vibe. But really, truly, we have to level up to a higher level of seeing the bigger picture and what's really happening here, and realizing, oh, I see what you're doing, and in an energetic sense, and be more of the magicians or the wizards of energy, because they've been watching us. They know what gets our goat. They know what gets us. So know that they're watching. Know that they're trying. Don't feed them. Don't feed the animals. Not really animals, because truly that's another thing that triggers me is the animals. Yeah, anything that's being harmed. And we can do all that we can to really give our love and protection to the vulnerable, the children, the animals, the elderly, the special needs, and just each other, those who are going through a spiritual crisis, a spiritual awakening. Don't judge. Just have compassion. Oh, I remember. I mean, just say that to yourself. I remember when I was there. The smartest of your two brains, that's right, is your heart. Well, and your gut. Actually, this is just a computer, really, which gets programmed. That's why, I mean, think about the words. Internet program. Oh, there's like a whole bunch of them. I lost them now. All right, let me just take a breath there. Good to see you guys, by the way. How is everybody doing out there? How has the eclipse energy been working with you? Mm. I see that comment. Tarot invites evil spirits. It depends on who you're working with. Before I even go live, I meditate. I call in my guides. I call in my higher self. I call in my team. I know what it feels like as a reader, and I've been a reader for a long time. I know the difference. Yeah. In the beginning, when you don't know what you're doing, there's trickster energies out there. I wouldn't call them evil, but they can throw people off for sure. Doesn't mean it calls them in. It means you got to know what you're working with. Always, not just with the cards, with everything. Right. You know how it feels because the intuitive, the spirit is very calm. Those trickster energies, however, can bring up a lot of anxiety. Oh, I'm sorry that I brought up the topic. I feel the need to apologize because I do like to keep it light, but that's not where we're at energetically right now. We're just not. So what did you say, Martin? You're dealing with mosquitoes. Those damn entities. They are parasitic, right? Bloodsuckers. Dustin, great to be here in this live. This is such an important topic you're covering, and I appreciate you for standing with the innocent and against the evil dark warlocks. Oh, thank you, Dustin. Thank you, thank you. Yes, and I hear you. I just know that when I talk about them, they like to come in, and we saw them through the screen, trying to distract. I mean, they're not that smart, really, truly. I don't really give these entities the time of day, but I know that some people do, and I don't want to invoke any fear in anybody because truly, you are your greatest source of power. We are powerful beings, more so than we know. And it's time that we actually get into that knowing. You can move mountains. You can change forms. You can make a change energetically. Whew. And the greatest change that we can put out into the web that connects us all is let's remember who we are, everybody. We're all going to see each other on the other side anyway. Get into your heart, get into your compassion, and we want harmony, we want peace. Let everybody, have their own beliefs and whatever, as long as it's not harming anybody else. When it goes into harm and mental and physical and emotional manipulation, then there's a problem, Then it's like, all right, might have to say something about that. Might have to do something about that, right? We have that power. We truly do. Okay. Let's pull a few cards. Sending love and light. Absolutely. And let's continue to do that. That's what I started this live with. I had an amazing, incredible, very tribal experience with about 50 other people in a very exquisite drum session and chanting and vocal, and we had a mantra that just sent, and we were all in our heart. You could see it, you could feel it. The room was vibrating, and we were sending it out to everyone. And I left there floating. I had like an hour and a half drive home in the downpouring rain the whole time, and I was just like, ah. Luckily I wasn't alone. I have friends with me, but it was incredible, and I want to continue to be in that energy and create that energy and put that energy out. But I also want to give the information that I'm shown that I'm experiencing, and I know I'm not the only one experiencing them. And when I have meeting after meeting after meeting with groups of other mediums, I'm like, okay, there's a theme here. I think I need to talk about this for anybody else who might be struggling in this energy at this time. Yes, music is mantra, vibrational healing, energy heals. Absolutely. Absolutely. And we want to have movement with the body too. I have to get better at that after being sick and down in the beginning. Like February is a rough month for me physically, but I've had moments where I'm like able to get out there and move. And I do have another ecstatic dance that's coming up, but that movement, I want that to be a daily practice and move energy through my body. I do energy work also, and I started to add that before I give Reiki. I have one specific client that I see twice a week, and we started doing stretches and body movements before he even gets on the table, and it's so powerful and helpful, especially because it's the morning. It's time to move some energy around before moving energy around. More feminine, yeah. We know something has to change with the world, and that means we need to change something. That's why making this video with these topics is valuable and important and necessary. Thank you, Dustin. I do agree. I do agree. I just want to also put out there that I'm not trying to invoke fear in anybody. It's more of like, if you're already having these experiences, I'm going to give you a little extra detail as to why, and don't feed. Don't There's a feeding frenzy right now. We've had them before. It's just a little extra right now. Don't give it what it wants. That's all. Understand your power. Stay in your power. Realize you have power. Many of us have been disempowered. Is that a word? Disempowered. Yeah. Disempowered. Okay. I don't know if we even need cards. Vibration. Mm-hmm. This is a war. Yes, and all wars have casualties. So any fear that arises from those not ready to process the truth of this realm is unfortunate, and I too wish not to be, but it is what it is. I love you all. Yeah, it is a frequency war. We have the vibration to the light is winning, by the way. Don't forget that. Lindsay, I'm creative dancer. Movement is important and it keeps you in tune with the whole body and heals. Yes, absolutely. 1000%. It's the exercises we did in this session last night. It was a lot of drumming, but then we went into the vocals and we went through the whole chakra system with certain vowels and I mean, it was just incredible. I think the gathering of so many people doing it in unison too was like it just that vibration alone. And so that was showing me the power in numbers. Um, when more of us get together and sync up with each other in this this healing vibration. Oh, you want to talk about power? Wow, incredible. We're doing this now as we are connected together now. We can do this together after we're off here and in our own personal space, putting it out there. The group meditations work. We might not see fully the benefits, but trust that it makes a difference, makes a huge difference. Stephanie, the information needs to come out as hard as it may be to say and hear. Thank you for that. I'm grateful for anyone willing to speak the truth. Oh, thank you. Lindsay, collective raises the vibration. I sing, so even humming, yep, and while meditating is a vibration of frequency. Yeah. Dustin is burning Palo Santo and really feeling the power of the elders and our support from the physical and beyond. Yes, we are doing this together. Yeah. You know, one of the things that we did, and I wonder if I can share that video because he sent us a link of these exercises that we did vocally through an email. I might be able to put it in the comments once this live goes, like once it posts. But one of them was we had our fingertips on our neck, on our vocal cords, to feel the vibration of the sounds that were coming out. Each time we had on our heart, all the chakras. Um, just amazing. It was just amazing. And we had a mantra too: the sun, the moon. Oh, I wish I could remember it now. It's in the link. But it is, we are all one at the end. So we are all one. Anything else? We have mediumship and Kundalini rising. Ooh, okay. um, so yeah, another big reason why you've got the polarity, right? You've got we could put all our focus and energy on what the dark forces are doing. It's important to be aware, but not to like get sucked into that energy or that black hole, because we are elevating in vibration. The earth is elevating in vibration, and you can't miss it. You really can't. Some people still are having a lot of physical effects, can't sleep or waking up in the middle of the night, restlessness, like physical effects. And that is just like old energies and attachments leaving the body from this vibrational, because when the kundalini rises, this is our natural energy, life force energy that resides at the base of the spine. It's called the coiled snake. Interesting that we're leaving the year of this, we've left the year of the snake. Feel like we're still kind of in it a little bit, but I feel that fire horse for sure. But that energy is coiled at the base of the spine until it's time to be activated. And this vibration is activating this energy, and it will shoot up. For me, I had a Kundalini awakening. Talk about, whoa, wasn't ready for that. The physical, it was first, it was like, wow, everything got lit up. I was turned on, third eye, crown, everything turned wide on. Talk about like, hmm, felt like I was like on an LSD, like acid trip, but also very heightened energetically. And so it was like really amazing. I probably seemed very crazy. But then when everything settled, I didn't realize like what goes up must come down. And it shook loose all of the things that I never dealt with: trauma, um, shadow, all of the things that had to go. So it, that seems very fitting for this energy, especially with this next wave of activations that's going on for people. It's no joke. You can't make it up. When the Kundalini rising and card comes up with mediumship and vibration, people are going through it. We all are to a degree, but I feel like I'm so used to it. I have this shooting up and down so often. I'm on a roller coaster ride every day energetically. But I'll never forget when that first happened to me. Um my whole life and my whole world changed. And it opened me up. Suddenly my grandparents came to me, my dad from the other side. They're talking to me, they're touching me, they're loving me. I'm like, "Is this really happening?" Um, and that's how I found the cards, because my clairsentient or clairaudience was so strong and it never shut off. And I realized, oh, it's always been there. I just thought that was me or my thoughts. I was getting messages so profoundly that I needed something to validate or decode them. And I was really drawn to tarot, and I didn't know anything about tarot. I had no tarot lessons or anything, but when I got my first deck of cards, um, something it was a remembrance. I must have like I understood. I understood the cards right off the bat. That's not for everybody. Um, for those of you who want to understand tarot, I would say don't go into a hardcore lesson, but just know what the different know what the wands and know what the water, fire, air, and earth mean and the major arcana mean, and listen to what messages you're receiving intuitively. Okay, so great, interesting times. And I will say, I have a lot of younger people coming to me for sessions right now because they're so wide, they've been wide open since day one. Um, I was and then shut it down for a long time until I got reactivated. Didn't try to activate it, it just happened. So I feel like this vibration is really um, shaking loose a lot of stuff for people, and really it's a fast track to getting you onto your soul's path. That's what eclipses are. We're still in the end phase of the first eclipse window of 2026, and eclipses are course correctors. It's going to put you back on your soul's path because we all veer off path in time. There's no right or wrong, we just learn. When we're off path, we learn who we're not. We learn what is not in our in alignment with our highest self. And then it comes an eclipse and something somehow some way puts you right back on track on your soul's path, so you can never really veer off that path too far. Now these entities know this too, so they, again, remember, they know you, they know us. Don't fall for the tricksters, don't fall for the tricks, don't fall for the fear. They're saying don't fall for the fear, the manipulation, also the comparison. I think that's going away too. That was a big thing. It's like when you don't have a lot of self-esteem and that's a shadow aspect of self, you don't really want to admit that you don't have a lot of self-esteem, or you don't think very highly of yourself, either because of your upbringing or your parents or whatever it is. You look to compare yourself to others, and most people, I have my heart, like, I have so much compassion for people like this. Because I was like, I read into all of these different paths for a long time in my lifetime, but people who have to have certain designer labels and they have to have things look a certain way, and it's like in a it that is a big indicator of like a really they're identifying with something outside of their heart and their soul, because they don't have that self-esteem, that self-worth. I don't know why we went in that direction, but maybe that resonates for somebody out there. Um, whew. Okay, what are you guys saying? I just went on a tangent that just all came through me. Yeah, we always have awakenings. Yes, we are the gifted. Oh, you're a reader too, yeah. So, yeah, whoo, okay. So there's a lot of changes that are happening really rapidly for people. And it's happening a lot faster, is what I keep picking up. It's happening a lot faster than it did maybe for many of us, where it was like we thought it was fast because our life changed, but then you go through the motions of, again, the healing, the shadow work, the understanding of your childhood trauma. That's really important part of it, because that plays a role in how the brain works, how the mind works, how we believe in ourselves in our journey. But the oh yeah, the younger, thank you. The children, like my grandchildren, the children in my family, the children I see, they are so wide open, and there's no stigma there. Like, I'm 54 years old, so there was a stigma for being psychic and being a reader when I was younger. I was actually, it shut down. I shut it down to a degree. Now I did have friends who knew, like I looked at this, I communicated with the stars. Like I was always lucky to have like be a little different. I wasn't the one that like needed to fit in with everybody else. And if anything, um, I didn't want to fit in with anybody. But we all want to be liked. We all want a tribe. We all want to have people in our lives that resonate with us. So I feel really good about the younger people on the planet because that vibration is powerful too. Very powerful. Oh, the whole time thing. I don't know if you were here when I was talking about CERN and some of the other manipulations that are happening with just the energetic timeline on the planet right now. It's very wacky right now. Not to mention all the Pisces energy that we're working with, and the North Node in Pisces too, Mercury retrograde. But something is off more so now. Like if you're a remote viewer, you could target in on something. And it's almost like you'll see it, but the target is always moving, where in the past it wasn't. So even being a reader, I don't read it. I don't do predictive anything. I always read into somebody's heart and soul and like find their blind spots for them. That's kind of my thing. Um, go into those deep dives. I'm a Scorpio. That's like that's my niche. But I also know that when you're like uh yeah, everything is moving. I mean, it always had been, but like the timelines, it's hard to describe. I know that time is an illusion, but it's different now than it had been before. Something happened. An infinite spot on an unimaginable length. It depends on what realm or dimension you're in and you're reading in and you're discerning and deciphering from too. We are all multidimensional. So we can be very, and right now I'm kind of reading into the basic bare bones of this third, I guess you could call it third dimension. We'll say it for all intensive purposes. Third dimension, which is actually moved, shifted more into the fourth dimension of weirdness. Um, but I think it's cool also, just because it's really opening a lot of people's minds up to be blown, fit, and all the multiple the multiple dimensions and who we're communicating with. What versions of ourselves are we tapping into? The angelic realms, the cosmic beings, our star brothers and sisters. I mean, there's so much, right? There's so much. In an insane world, it is the sane who are considered crazy. Well, yeah. All right, let's see. Let's see what else has come through. Where are we at? 7324. But this is exciting. All right, let's see. Oh, okay. So they just asked me to look at the bottom of the deck, and the bottom of the deck is past lives. I've known you before. It's interesting. There's a soul recognition that's happening as well with more and more people. And oh, I'm just hearing welcome home, welcome home. So yeah, we went into the darkness. We read into the darkness earlier, spoke about the darkness and the manipulation and all of the horrific things that have been going on. And their game is like they know that they can't keep playing the game that they had been because humanity's waking up. The vibration has already changed, and those who are incarnated now and are still incarnating now are not going to be subjected or even easily manipulated like many of us had been. We all had been to some degree believed in some form of separation. But that separation is the illusion, and that recognition is coming back. The remembrance. I'm hearing this remembering. Circles of 6 cells insane in the membrane. All right, where are we going with this? This is also, say that again. This is also, we've been given the opportunity to let go of attachments. It's been layer by layer by layer. It's becoming clearer and clearer for many that what you had been attached to suddenly, again, I'm hearing disillusionment, suddenly is not at all the story or narrative that you thought it was. There's definitely some kind of past life link or soul remembrance link there, but at the same time, it's important to, if you know that something is not meant for you going forward, or someone, to release it with love. Thank them or thank it for the growth and the lessons and the experiences that were had to put you on the path that you're on and where you're going. And that there's always love. There's love on the other side. But to release these attachments is super important. And you'll see why. Why? Some attachments, and they're really putting it in form of relationship attachments. Showing me Venus. Some attachments, this isn't for everyone, so take it as it resonates. This is as far as it goes. And to release that that, even if it's energetic attachment or story, is going to open up space for you to actually receive what it is that you need to receive for the next passage, the next wave. Yeah. Yeah. I definitely had that. Also, okay. Do we need the cards? Also, the stories, there's a shift in narrative for others. If it's not attachment or even energetic attachment, the narrative, the story is changing, and suddenly there's a realization of, oh, I'm holding on to this past story. I'm keeping this energy alive. And once you let go of that story, that energetic story, like somebody said something wrong or did something wrong, had you feel a certain way, right? But let's say it's a family member or something. It's important to just recognize what purpose it served for you at the time. That energy is dissipating. This is Pisces energy. It's dissolving, opening up. Okay, thank you. Pisces is the end of the zodiac. It is the dissolving of what no longer is in resonance with you and your soul's path, which then opens up the space for something new, for the Aries energy to come into form, come into fruition, to take you on the next phase of your journey. Okay. The Nine of Swords. I have a feeling these cards are going to come out and say exactly what I just said. But, you know, I'm one that always appreciates validation and clarification. Okay. Yeah. All these swords in the Hierophant. Six of Cups in reverse. Yeah, there's that past relationship, past connection, the narrative. There is love here. There is love here, but in reverse, something's dissipating because what there could be expectation grief that we've had to go through. We've expected that maybe somebody else was going to change and they haven't. Expected the narrative to shift and it hadn't. It's up to us. We changed the narrative, but we changed the narrative for us, meaning I understand. I understand now. This could be, I mean, really, truly our own shadow coming through another person. These are soul contracts. And it's painful and it brings us to a lot of intrusive thoughts. Look at that depiction. Like we stab ourselves with our thoughts, intrusive thoughts, anxiety. Interesting, there's a snake here. It seems like everything's coming apart. These pillars are cracking down. It's like the worst, thank you, the worst case scenario in the mind. Realize it was a teacher. It's teaching you something. It's teaching you about your beliefs. It's teaching you about what is changing, what we need to let go of, no longer attached to a belief system, a thought, a narrative. So, in order to bring us to balance, harmony within ourselves. Give me one more Seven Swords, please. I'm hearing this is a rite of passage. It is a choice, but the energy is opening up. I mean, this Mercury retrograde, Princess of Swords in reverse, Eight of Wands in reverse. So some people may still be stuck and not really knowing or having that clarity quite yet to move, to change, to that you have hold the power to be the change in your life. There could still be, I always see this as Neptune, because you could still be in the fog. Things might not be fully clear yet. That's okay. It will be clear. There will be clarity. Allow the vibration to do its job, but know that like things are not as they appear to be. Check what the story is in the mind, check the thoughts, check what you're creating mentally, what energy you're putting out there that's connected to a scenario, a person, things like that. Yeah, slow down to catch up. That's right, Martin. Exactly, we really do. And this is a perfect time to slow down. Because I really feel that spring equinox, March 20th, that's coming up really quickly. Also the day that Mercury stations direct. Coincidence? I don't believe in coincidences. I think not. Things will become clearer. Don't let your mind run the show, because the mind will run the show if you let it. It is programmed based off of past events, based off of pain, based off of trauma, based off of stories, things that have been placed into you, energetic attachments, physical attachments, and so forth and so on. So we want to end this reading with an oracle card, and the native spirit is really calling. Yeah, Yeah. Gonna um, close this reading out with a message from Native Spirit. It's interesting because I can't even tell you how many, it almost seems like every day I have had hawks and eagles literally fly very close to my head and my car, and they tend to swirl around to make themselves known, like, and I'll hear then, we're with you. um we're with you, we're watching. Stay in your highest vision, stay with your higher self. Mhm. Dustin, to change the world, we got to change our world. And sometimes taking 3 deep conscious breaths is all that's needed in this divine now. Martin, what do you think will happen when Uranus enters Gemini? I'm actually looking forward to it. I'm quite tired of Uranus and Taurus. But it's taught me a lot. And that's just my personal journey. Um, and when Uranus entered Taurus is when my world got rocked. Um, Big time. For the good. Now I look back on it and I'm like, thank God that happened. Because I am now grounded. I didn't realize how ungrounded I was. The Taurus energy, I mean, that's the opposing my personal sun. Um, Feeling secure and safe and nurtured. I am connected to the earth, but there were times that I felt very ungrounded and unearthed. So I see that. Let me sit with that. Because it already feels like, hmm, it's going to be a wild ride. I'm not going to lie. I think it's going to be a pretty wild ride, Uranus and Gemini. But it might be the fast track. Okay. It might be the fast track that we need. That Jekyll and Hyde, that in and out, that yes and no. Shocking, shocking conversations and communications. I'm already having them. This is why we're given a chance to really check our thoughts and check our mind before Uranus moves into Gemini, because that might be like, then you're really going to know how the mind runs the show. Yeah. It's teaching us that we've nearly matured out of that one. Yeah. That's so interesting. I like really fell into that one. Yeah. And I feel like with each phase, with each pass, we are being prepared for the next movement, the next version of ourselves, even. There's a huge maturity happening spiritually, personally. And I don't know about you guys, but I definitely feel a lot more grounded than I have in a long time, regardless of whatever chaos is going on outside. And that has a ripple effect. And I've noticed that it's affected my son. I see him more calm and grounded, and he needs to be, because there are others that are still very anxious and, rightly so. I understand. I'm not judging anybody who is worried and concerned and racing thoughts. But the more of us who can stay present and stay grounded and trust, that has a calming effect and a ripple effect, not just with our inner circle, but with the collective. And it's needed. It's greatly needed. It's going to be needed even more when Uranus moves into Gemini. Okay. So let's do that. Yeah. And just when you think you've matured out of something, here comes another wave to be like, did you? I know it's never ending, but it really is. It's cycles and cycles and cycles. Time is not linear. Time doesn't exist. But I mean, if we're talking about the evolution of the human, we can see things repeating themselves and like, did you learn? Do you understand? And even if it's not mental all the time. It's like our nervous system has changed. I know my nervous system has definitely changed. It's much more calm than it ever has been. And that just happens with experience and being, yeah, just being in the human body, having the human experience. Right now, as we go through those last degrees of Taurus for what, 72 years? Something like that. Yeah. Wow. I didn't even think about that. We are in that last degrees. I felt the shift when Uranus moved direct again. And I see how it's really rocking and shaking. There's even physical earth movements and things happening. Uranus and Taurus, earthquakes, a lot of earthquakes. We've had a lot of weather disruptions. And yes, there's been infiltrations with that too, but got to check the mind always and feel. What is it? What am I feeling? What am I sensing? Let's see. Do I have my little cheat sheet? No, I do. Oops. You know, I really need to do some spring cleaning here. But I do have something here. Let me share. Have it somewhere. Here it is. Okay, Uranus moves into Gemini July 7th. It's been in Taurus since 2018. It moved retrograde back into Taurus last November. Oh wait, moves fully into, oh, that was last year. Moved into Gemini July 7th of last year. So we had a taste of that. Think about July. So reflect back. I'm going to do that too. Reflect back on your experience at when Uranus was touching into Gemini. July 2025. From July 2025 till November 2025. Then Uranus retrograded back into Taurus. Now Uranus fully moves into Gemini April 25th and will stay. Uranus stays in the sign around 7 years. Its average orbit is 84 years. But also knowing you're the seeker of truth, that's something else. Yeah. Yeah, since 2018. And 2018 was a huge year for me. Huge. Big, huge. It's when everything changed, and it seemed like it changed it, but my whole world got rocked, and I was uprooted from everything. My long-term career, my marriage, my home, everything. But it placed me exactly where I needed to be because that career was just for money. It wasn't my passion. What I do now is in my heart and my passion. I'm reconnected and more connected with my family, my blood family, than ever before. My son, my grandchildren, my siblings. So in retrospect, all of that happened that was terrifying. I knew not to cling to it. I had the Kundalini awakening I knew not to cling. I was listening to my guidance, but it was scary. I didn't know what I was going to do for money. I didn't know how I was going to survive. That's Taurus. I didn't know how I was going to survive, how I was going to have a roof over my head, where I was going to live, what I was going to do. I had a leap of faith and I just kept going. Dustin says, me too. 2018 was massive as far as a major shift in daily life. Yeah, big, big game changer, but it had to happen. And I'm glad it did. I'm very grateful it did. And I'm grateful for all the people that were a part of that shaking my world up and helping lift me out of where I was into where I am now. I had a lot of healing to go through, felt betrayed and backstabbed and all that. I don't anymore. I have gratitude, a lot of gratitude. And I know that for those that I don't see in the physical, I'll see them on the other side. I send them love energetically. Where before I used to be like, you know, like not at all loving. It took how many years since 2018 to get to a point where like, oh, gratitude, you know, I mean, the healing journey is not easy. To be grateful for being betrayed and hurt, like, you know, that's a journey in itself. Oh, that's the last time your mom and you and your mom spoke. Wow. And I'm sure she's going through a journey. And so there's another shift that's about to happen. Uranus is the awakener. It's the disruptor. It shakes us up and moves us out, moves us, makes the moves for us we can't make ourselves, right? Or we don't think we can. All right, let's get one last message. I love this one. Yes, Mercury is still retrograde. Wounded healer. And there we go. I remember when I was going through that passage in the beginning, I kept hearing, healer, heal thyself. And I'm like, what? You're the wounded healer. And I'm like, no, I'm not a healer at all. I was so resistant to so much. Okay. It's a beautiful, ooh, I love that. The card meaning, healing energy, vitality, and life force energy are flowing through you and to you. You are a healer and you provide healing for others, even if you're not conscious of it. Whatever needs healing in your life is being resolved. Your so-called faults are becoming your virtues. No matter what happened in your past, the past does not need to equal the future. It's true. The cracks can be where the light enters the soul. Your native spirit wants you to know the wounded healer is a tradition in native cultures that asserts that some of the greatest healers are those who have gone through hardship and survived, or who have been wounded and healed. It's believed that these individuals can provide great solace and can instigate profound healing for others. You may have been wounded in your life, or you may have gone through challenging times, but the roots go deepest where the wind blows strongest. You are a healer in the most profound sense of the word. Healing energy is surging through you. Whatever in your life needs healing is being addressed on the inner realms. Your strength lies in the difficulties that you've overcome. Just sit with that for a minute. Let that sink in. We've gone through so much. We've overcome so much. We are the wounded healers. Recognize that in yourself because we're here to activate others and even just in your very presence, in your smile, in your grace. There's something activating there. There's a remembrance, and that starts the ripple effect of healing for others. So again, just coming full circle back to getting back into our heart. What vibration that we put out there comes back to us, and we are connected to everything. So what is it that we desire? That Venus energy, what is it truly of value in our heart? Is peace, is love, is harmony, is justice for all. Put that out there. Keep sending compassion and love to yourself and to others. Stay in your heart and don't feed the entities. Don't give them what they want, because it's in the vibration. That's what I have for us all. I'm so glad that you guys were all here. We got to connect. This was amazing. It felt really amazing. So glad you made it, Martin. If you're still there. Yeah. Oh yeah, Chiron's changing signs too. Let me do I have that here? I don't. I only have the outer planets on this one. We got a lot changing this year. Chiron shifting. Whew. So much changing, and it's going to be very helpful. And we're given the tools. We've been training for this our whole life. Remember that. You are ready. You don't wait for somebody else to come save you. You are the one that you've been waiting for. I know that sounds cliche, but truly, when your true warrior heart and soul comes online and comes alive, that's it. Don't feed the monkeys. That's what I was trying to say. Exactly. I said, I love you all. Thank you so much for being here and connecting and sharing. And this was beautiful. So I will be back again. I know I always say that. I took a little bit of a February was a little rough on me physically, but I feel really good and grounded and ready to keep connecting. Yeah, I'm so glad you made it. Yes. Thank you, Dustin, for moderating. I saw a lot of activity going on there. I know you were busy. I appreciate you so much. And thank you, everybody that was here and contributed energetically, contributed through the comments. I appreciate you all so much. So much. You have no idea. I hope you feel it. So much love to you. Take care. Bye.